The crown's weight is more than gold. It's history, legacy, and expectation. King Charles III inherits not just a throne, but the unresolved shadows of his mother's reign. Chief among them, the scandal of his brother, Prince Andrew. This is the defining conflict of Charles's rule, a test between honouring the past and securing the monarchy's future. Queen Elizabeth II was a symbol of stability, but her silence on Andrew's scandal became a source of criticism. Now, Charles faces what she could not: the need for decisive action. To protect his mother's legacy is to move cautiously, but the public demands swift justice. Acting boldly risks criticising her judgment and exposing the monarchy's vulnerabilities. Charles must choose loyal son or modernising king. He cannot be both. Every decision is scrutinised by the world, his family, and history itself. The public sees a simple moral question. For Charles, it's a tangled web of duty and survival. The monarchy's unity is fractured, and the crisis is now national, not just familial. The inheritance is a poisoned chalice, splendour mixed with peril. Charles must untangle a family crisis that threatens the very fabric of the crown. The world watches to see if he can restore unity where it no longer exists. The problem, of course, is Prince Andrew, the Duke of York. The man who settled a civil suit with a woman who accused him of sexual assault. A man whose friendship with a convicted sex offender is a matter of public record. A man who gave a car crash interview so catastrophic it should be studied in PR classes for centuries to come. And now, according to a new piece by Roya Nicker in The Times, the courtiers of King Charles are whispering behind their hands, pointing a trembling accusatory finger at a portrait of the late Queen. Their message? Queen Elizabeth II has, and I quote, "The British public is no longer united in its view of the monarchy. The Andrew affair has deepened divisions, creating multiple publics with conflicting expectations. One group demands accountability. Andrew stripped of titles and removed from public life. Another, more traditionalist, values stability and sees the scandal as a private matter. Between them lies a crucial undecided middle, watching to see how Charles will lead. Their support is conditional. They want moral leadership, not just ceremony. The palace often misreads this complex landscape, risking further alienation. For many, the monarchy's credibility is at stake. The undecided hold the monarchy's future in their hands. Charles must win them over with decisive, principled action. Their verdict will determine whether the crown endures or fades. The nation waits for a sign of true leadership. And let's not for a second buy the line these insiders are selling. They claim, and this is a direct quote, "The king has one of the best antennae for judging public opinion." No, he doesn't. My God, this is the man who married Camilla Parker Bowles, a move that required decades of relentless, brutal PR spin to make even marginally palatable to a public that vividly remembered Diana. Charles doesn't have a feel for public opinion. He has a contempt for it. He believes with every fibre of his being that he can manipulate public opinion, that he can lecture us on architecture, on climate change, on organic farming, and that we will simply fall in line. But as historian Andrew Lowney, who literally wrote the book on the Yorks, has pointed out, the public is miles ahead of them. There is huge public support for formally stripping Andrew of his titles, for booting him out of his 30-room mansion, Royal Lodge, and for a full criminal inquiry. What is Charles doing? Dithering, enacting half measures, slowing walking the punishment because, and this is the crucial part, punishing Andrew is a slap in his dead mother's face. King Charles faces a personal and public dilemma: family loyalty versus the demands of leadership. His hesitation to act against Andrew reflects a deep conflict, honouring his mother's protective instincts or fulfilling his duty as king. The impulse to keep family matters private is strong, but dangerous for a modern monarch. The public expects a leader, not a family counsellor. Charles's incremental measures are seen as weakness, not wisdom. Every choice is fraught to act decisively and risk appearing cold, or hesitate and seem ineffective. The king is trapped between past and present, personal ties and public responsibility. His struggle is lonely, and the world is watching. The monarchy's future depends on whether he can put duty above kinship. The time for half measures is over. Only bold leadership can restore faith in the crown. And there it is, the hyperbole we usually reserve for a certain Duke and Duchess of Sussex. When Harry and Meghan make a decision that undermines the late Queen's wishes, they are disrespecting the dead. They are betraying her legacy. But when Charles and his courtiers actively, publicly, blame the late Queen for her own failings, it's just shrewd palace politics. Charles has become his mother's biggest op, as the kids say. He has been his entire life. He was the heir who chafed under her rule, the modernist who bristled at her tradition, the man who saw her methods as outdated. And now, in a final, breathtaking act of revisionism, he is allowing his staff to paint her as the architect of his current troubles. And the most hilarious, the most tragically ironic part of it all? This crisis is a test of the monarchy's relevance in the modern world. Trust, not tradition, is now the crown's most precious asset. The Andrew scandal has shattered the illusion of royal accountability. The public demands transparency and integrity, no one above the law. The monarchy's survival depends on a genuine cultural shift, not just removing Andrew from view. Charles must embrace reform, proving the institution can change. The future of the crown hangs on his willingness to act with honesty and courage. This is a moment of peril and opportunity. Who's really been treated unfairly in this saga? Harry and Meghan were exiled for seeking independence and truth. Andrew, meanwhile, remains protected by silence, privilege, and a father who'd rather blame a dead queen than face reality. The monarchy's moral compass isn't just broken, it's spinning in circles. So here we are. A king who can't lead, punishing a prince who won't leave while blaming a queen who isn't here. This isn't just about Andrew anymore. This is about the very soul of the monarchy. It's about the story they tell us and the story they tell themselves. And the two are becoming irreconcilable. The foundation of deference is cracking, and the worms of hypocrisy are crawling out.